Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I am Morris Merriweather, the host of Straight Talking Room 503 and also the author of Enough is Enough. Public education has spiraled out of control. Thank you so very much for coming to class for another session of Straight Talking 503. Ladies and gentlemen, there are lots that we need to deal with this week. As I normally do, I start off by telling you what's going on in my hometown, and then I'll tell you that the same thing that's going on in my hometown is going on in your hometown if you stayed busy and paid attention to what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, this week in my hometown, this past board meeting, there was a retreat. The retreat was for this past Friday and Thursday. Reverend James Baxter and I attended the session. And ladies and gentlemen, it was a sad day. There was only Mr. Baxter, Reverend Baxter, and myself. That was there. That was African American. We did have the representative there from the local education association. But ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Baxter and I looked around. There was no other minister in the room with the exception of Reverend Baxter. There was no other educator in the room but myself. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a sad day. And we say we care about the students. Ladies and gentlemen, there was no ministers present. There was no representative from the NAACP. There was no elected officials, and certainly there was no African American elected official that was present. The mayor of the city was not there. The county mayor was not there. The Chamber of Commerce was not represented. Ladies and gentlemen, it was just a sad occasion. I think there was probably a total of less than 12 people at the retreat, that would be discussing the criteria for the superintendent and the outcome of Vision 2020. There was a lot of things that was on the agenda. These board members would be there this for Friday as well as for the following week. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the African American board members was not there, as well as one of the Caucasian board members. Now, there may be excuses or reason for that. But it would appear that if you have no more than 9 members, you will want to have a retreat on a day that all of the board members could participate, even when you just have 9 board members. But ladies and gentlemen, perhaps there was a reason for that. Won't go into that. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that is a sad day when our community does not come out. Now, I have been told by a friend of mine that perhaps some of the white ministers of the city does not feel that it's necessary to come out because their congregation members are attending private schools or they are attending school in surrounding counties. So they're not that concerned about what's going on in Madison County. Assuming that is correct, ladies and gentlemen, that is a sad commentary that a man of God will not come out and find out what's going on in the community. And you have members of the congregation that are attending public school. There should be discussion in all of the churches during the course of this coming school year. They should be discussing who do we like to see as superintendent in our public school system. What should 2020 have done or did not do? What do we need to do to improve public education? It's a lot of issues that are going on that we need to have our church doors open because the church is the lighthouse of the community. But now the church is not the lighthouse of the community because the churches have reached up and pulled the light off and it's dark all over the religious community. Ladies and gentlemen, I wonder so much as what is the sororities, the fraternities, the Masons, the Women's Federation Club, the Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, there was no representative there at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, it tells me with the megabucks that we're spending as taxpayers, why would you spend your taxpayers' dollars and say, I don't care what to do with my money? That's what you said in short. If you would not ever come to the board meeting, you would not go to the schools. Reverend Baxter and I are catching hell in the school system when we go around because they're not used to people coming into the school system and taking a look at what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, and especially they're not They're upset that two African-American brothers are checking up on them. So it is disturbing in the public education system. When we go into the schools and we walk in and we introduce ourselves, they say, what do you want? We would like to tour the facility. We would like to talk with the principal if there's any way possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we do not go into the school system to go into the classroom, talk and mess with students in the hallway, stop teachers from doing their job, stop the staff from doing their job. We just want to observe. And ladies and gentlemen, they are very careful who they let go with us. They say, hold on, we can't let you go by yourself. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're not on the predators list. And so why can't we go and look? Ladies and gentlemen, unless you have something to hide, you wouldn't be that cautious. So ladies and gentlemen, common sense ought to tell you that something is going on that you want to hide. So ladies and gentlemen, two of the schools that we went to this week, and I'm going to come back to that meeting, but just allow me to move on a little bit further, and I'll come back to that shortly. But ladies and gentlemen, listen. We went to a school in my hometown called Rose Hill. Rose Hill is a middle school. When Reverend Baxter and I arrived, we simply asked the secretary that we would like to see the facility and would like to talk with the principal. And so the young lady went away. She came back and she said to tell you all to leave your number, that we will call you, that she's unable to show it to you today. And I asked the receptionist, is it possible we could have someone else to show it? No, she said that it has to be her. Why does it have to be a principal to carry us around? And in a lot of the schools, we have had bookkeepers and secretaries that carry us around when the principal's busy. We don't want to interfere with the day-to-day operation. We just want to be able to see the facility. So, ladies and gentlemen, I gave her my card, the secretary. And so this has been a week. And so my phone service has not been cut off. And I'm still waiting on that call, but no call has come in. And I told Reverend Baxter, I did not expect the call to come in. I could not see them calling to tell two African Americans, please come into our school and take a look. So there was no plan of us being able to see that facility. So that makes a total of 3 schools that we have not been able to get in and see because the principal would not allow us, and we are taxpayers. So if they would not allow a preacher, a former educator, and a deacon of the city, neither one of us have police record. We're not on any list, any no-fly zone list, or any kind of list, or predator list, or anything. No police record. Then why can't we go in and see a facility that our tax dollars are paying for? It's a sad day. It would seem to me that we would have concerned citizens. Wait just a minute. If this is going on, let me investigate this further, because I want to make sure that we're making contact with the superintendent of schools and the principals of those schools. We should have access to those buildings. These gentlemen are going out and doing the legwork when we should be getting up off our rusted dust to doing something. But since they're able to do that, they should be able to be able to do so, and do so with respect. But ladies and gentlemen, the community is quiet. The phones are not ringing. The books are not being purchased. We're not being talked to when we're out in the community about anything. So it's just that the good old boys have, I guess, purchased all of the people who listen to my show each week and saying, we're thinking about, Mr. Mayor, we're thinking about enrolling with the good old boys because you guys are finding out too much information that could help our children to have a quality education. And we're not down with that. Ladies and gentlemen, stay with me. I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, before I remove myself from talking about the meeting that Reverend Baxter and I attended, another sad commentary was that we looked around the room. There was not one parent present. And they was talking about who would be at the helm of public education next year, the person that will run the system. There was not one parent that was present. There was no administrators, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. They are making a decision on the criteria for your boss. And you don't have time to come and find out the criteria for who may supervise you. Not one administrator was there. Not one teacher was there. They did not feel it necessary to come and find out the criteria for who would be their boss and whether they would have any input into who that individual would be. And then the people in the religious community did not show. I thought we was there to save souls and make sure that we was a beacon of light in the community. Then where are you? With all of our civic clubs, we have one organization called the 100 Black Men who mentors and gives scholarships to students. And you would think that they would be concerned as how do we move forward? What mistakes did we make in the previous election of the superintendent or appointing of the superintendent? What can we do to influence and make sure we get the right person this time? They was not present. The elected officials who was elected, and especially the African-American who was elected by African-American community in a predominant black school system, did not feel it necessary to come out and find out who and what is going to be done to make sure we get the best superintendent possible. Not one organization, not one parent. It would seem that the parents who tells their children, I love you, I care about you, I want you to have the best, then why did you not come out and make sure that the best criteria was set, that they would get the best? Ladies and gentlemen, as Donald Trump would say, and it doesn't make sense to Hillary Clinton, you're a liar, you're lying. Ladies and gentlemen, you're lying to yourself when you're telling these babies that you care for them and you care about them and you love them and you bring them up and you hug them and you kiss them and you tell them, I love you. How's school? What you doing? That is basically sound to me is just conversation. Don't be surprised if the child will say, hey, look, cut the bull. You don't care about me. Reverend Baxter and Meriwether are going out and trying to make things better. Why can't you do something, Granny? Why can't you do something, Pawpaw? I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, hang with me. But ladies and gentlemen, on the criteria, and I'll just read just a few of the things that were said. And this same thing is going on in your hometown. You need to find out what's going on. They went on and began to talk about what are some of the things that they wanted to look for in the superintendent. And they wanted to look with someone that could deal with the appropriate curriculum. And the first thing that they did, they went back and started revitalizing the vision and mission statement. And I turned to Mr. Baxter and I said, my goodness, the system has been here this long. And tonight, the board members who are present are getting $300 a night. And we got them coming and asking about revamping the mission and vision statement. My goodness, if our mission is wrong and our vision is unclear, we're doomed. But here was these people around the table. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, it's reminded that when we go out and we hire board members, it would appear to me that you would want people that would have some experience, some background. But if you want to be a member of the board and you was a prostitute, you was a plumber, you was a dope dealer, you was a humongous person, gangbanger, if you could get, listen how stupid this is. If you can go out and get 25 eligible people, eligible to vote, to sign your petition, and then you could go around in the community and say, look, it's going to be dope for everybody. Everybody will get dope. Free plumbing for everyone. Free women's of the night for you. You know, I know that I'm a prostitute, but we're going to take care of you. And if those voters go out and elect you, the law says they are members of the board. So we have members on the board that has no idea of what's going on, and no one's saying anything. We're not saying anything. Then they went on and they began to talk about the role of a board member. The role of a board member? And I said to Reverend Baxter, my God, they don't know their role. Maybe that explains why the system is going to hell in a handbasket. If they don't know it in my hometown, there's a good likelihood that they don't know what the hell they're doing in your hometown as well. You should start attending the meeting. You should start asking questions, but you're not. But ladies and gentlemen, they go on and say that We want a superintendent who can establish the right culture. The school culture should already be set. Can attract and retain a team to run the district. My goodness. Team builders. Someone who has people skill, wise use of resources, and community liaison. That was on the list. Relate well to employees at all levels. Generate enthusiasm or motivation. Ladies and gentlemen, they should come ready to roll if that's what they want to do. If they're a people person and they want to improve a system, they should be motivators. They should know how to stimulate the staff members. But our staff in my hometown, and I bet you it's in your hometown, is at an all-time low. But ladies and gentlemen, let's see what they got here. Check this out here. These are people we're paying $300 a night. That's what they said. Willing to admit and recognize when they are wrong. Now, that's one of the criteria from these brilliant people. And then they said Meriwether lost his mind. Reverend Baxter, them two boys have lost their mind. And they're going to put this down now. Willing to admit and recognize when they are wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us should be willing to admit and recognize when we're wrong. It shouldn't just be the superintendent. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a sad day in public education. All right, let's see here. They want to have a local search, and then a gentleman came up and started talking about a nation search. I think they just whistling Dixie. They just, you don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the same. That is really sad. What's going on? So let me do this, and then we're gonna try to get you out of this class. We went, as I said, to Rose Hill. Rose Hill is one of the middle schools. Okay. Rose Hill have a total of 558 students. 2 Asian, 168 blacks, 67 Hispanics, 23 Mexicans, and 1 P. Don't know what that is. And 336 whites. Ladies and gentlemen, let me explain what they're doing. No one but Reverend Baxter and I are concerned enough to try to find out how do they do this and who are on that zoning board. They are zoning these students so that they would say, this school we want to have majority whites. And so they zone them. And so Pee Wee across the street may not be going where Melanie is going across the street because they drew the line down, the imaginary line down the street. Or they got to the corner and then these kids all go to this school and those kids over here go here. So that's how that in predominant black school system, they are switching them out. In fact, I asked one of the staff members when we entered the door, I said, listen, am I not correct that this middle school was a predominant black middle school? Because it was when I was subbing here. Yeah. Well, what the hell happened? How did all of these whites get here? She looked around as if she was afraid someone may be listening. She's, Mr. Meriwether, they zoned them out. They zoned them out. What do you mean? She said they zoned them so that they would have so many more whites here than blacks. I said, well, are more black teachers here? What did they do to Mr. Meriwether? They zoned them out too. And I said to myself, Robin, why in the hell is the community when all of this, I like to say it, but you fill in the blank, been going on? Okay. Then Reverend Baxter and I, we went over to another middle school. The name of this school is North Parkway Middle School. There is a total of 785 students, more than the school was equipped to handle. There are 8 Asians, 644 blacks, 55 Hispanics, 20 Mexicans, and 58 white students. Now, I'm familiar with this school because this school is not far from where I live. North Parkway was a predominant black school. And my question that I asked when I got there with one of the staff members in the hallway, where in the hell are the white students? Oh, Mr. Merriweather, they've gone to other counties and to private school, leaving behind just the 58 poor whites that couldn't move. Ladies and gentlemen, for a race of people who talks about superiority and inferiority, if the poor whites and the Mexicans and the Hispanics and the African American would band together, we would be a force to be reckoned with. But in spite of the low minority, we still got talks of, I'm better than you. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a very sad day. So we went on, and I asked the security lady, you used to be here by yourself. And I noticed that you have a Caucasian resource officer here. And her response is, well, they came up with a criteria that X number of students, you have to have X number of security guard, resource officer, excuse me. So the school, she says, but between me and you, there are at least 2 or 3 gang members here, gangs. And so we have to have them here. And it's a job constantly for us to keep the peace because of the various gang members here. So if I'm being told that the gang members are here, I believe that some astute parents found out that some gang members was there and they got the hell out of Dodge. They also made sure that they went to private school and around the district, where we as an African American race, we are continuing to attend schools that does not offer us the best in quality education. And we're not having no discussion in our community. And ladies and gentlemen, I beg to believe that discussion is not going on in your hometown as well. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to come back and we're going to wrap this up and get you out of class where you can be able to go on to your next class. So stay with me. I'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, the clock on the wall said that it's time for me to get out of here. But ladies and gentlemen, it's my hometown as well as the towns all across this country, the inner city was so bad that there was white flight. They left and went to the suburbs. Then as soon as they left, gathered their ideas, their thoughts, and their monies, then their investors moved back in town or downtown and began to buy up all of the property while Pee Wee, Bubba, Tawana, Nene used to live. And they dispersed them deeper into the African American communities. And then, ladies and gentlemen, they tore down the old raggedy houses. They have done so in my hometown. And tore down the homes, rebuilt homes downtown. The homes they tore down, they purchased for 10 and 15, 20,000, are now redone and they're selling for $250,000 and above. They also build lifts and not educational facilities. They build facilities, entertainment facilities. They build drugstores and stuff. Whites are moving back downtown. Now in the same area that used to be the inner city. So ladies and gentlemen, they're doing it in Chicago, New Jersey, every place that you can think of, and especially in the hometown that you're in. So I came up with this phrase here. I thought it was kind of cute. Some of you have left downtown and went uptown. And then you figured out you made a mistake downtown and you moved back downtown and around town. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a sad day. I just wonder, when God asks you, what did you do for the least of thee? Will you be able to say, yes, I did? Or will you not have an answer? Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't make sense to follow dumb leadership. Again, it doesn't make sense to follow dumb leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with this and I'm out of here. If you are neutral in a situation of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. One more time. Some of you will get it. Some of you never will. if you are neutral in a situation of injustices, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Morris Merriweather of Straight Talk in Room 503. The host, I just told you that I was the host, but I meant to say I am the author of Enough is Enough. Public education has spiraled out of control. Ladies and gentlemen, until next week, I'll see you again right back in the class of Straight Talk. Have a great week and wake up, ladies and gentlemen. It's later than you think. Public education has spiraled out of control. I'll see you next time. Have a great one.